And we're back. Mike Cernovich, DangerandPlay.com, Gorilla Mindset. We're going to keep this one short. Why do Republicans lose even when they win? Even when Republicans win, they lose. Here's what I mean to tell you. Republicans right now have the presidency, 33 governorships, majority in the Senate, a majority in the House of Representatives, pushing towards the supermajority. You know what they did? They're crying because Kellyanne Conway made a cheeky remark on TV about Ivanka's product line. I couldn't believe it. I read news all day. All day I read news. Rarely am I speechless. And I think, I can't believe this is true. So Kellyanne Conway, we're Team Kellyanne, by the way. She goes on TV. Ivanka Trump is under a lot of drama. Ivanka Trump is not a Trumpist. That is what infuriates me. Ivanka Trump, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, Ivanka Trump is not one of us, and I don't mean that in the way that people who don't know me would think I would mean this. Ivanka Trump is a center-left person. Ivanka Trump, Don Jr. is one of us. He's a far-right. Well, not far-right. We're the new center-right. Right. Don Jr. would be a Trumpist regardless of that. Ivanka Trump is a center-left, maybe at most a Rockefeller Republican. She isn't anything remotely controversial. She's under attack, though, because of her dad. They're going after her because of her dad. Kellyanne Conway goes on TV and says, oh, I got her clothes, buy her clothes. Ha, ha, ha. Everybody's joking. Everybody's having a good time. What do the Republicans do? I couldn't believe it when I read it. I go, oh, this can't be true. I saw screen caps going around, and I go, this can't be true. The House of Representatives tell Trump they need to fire her. They send a... I can't believe it. I was like, I can't believe this is true. I don't know what the hell is going on here. This can't be true. The Republicans go, Trump, you need to fire Kellyanne Conway because she went on Fox News and had a little fun and joked around a little bit. Couldn't believe it. Our team. This is why we got to take over. The Republicans, they're not us. The Republicans do not want to represent us. Within Trump, the true people, the true Trump supporters, the people who understand this populism and nationalism movement, Kellyanne Conway, Steve Bannon, General Flynn, Don Jr., Stephen Miller. Who are the 5 people in Trump's inner circle who really get it and support the American people the most? Don Jr., Stephen Miller, Steve Bannon, General Flynn, Kellyanne Conway. All right? That's why the media keeps going after them. That is why the media keeps hitting those people hard. They're not going after Reince Priebus. They're not going after Reince. Right? Why? Why aren't they going after Reince Priebus? I mean, get out of here, right? Where do you think the leaks are coming from? Where do you think the leaks are coming from? Like I said in my earlier Periscope, why are there more hate articles on me than there are on the Chief of Staff of the Republic? Nobody answer this question. Nobody will answer this question for me, which is a fair question. The fair question is, look, I like myself, I think I'm important, blah, 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 right? But let's be real here. As much as you love me and I love you, why is there more hit articles on me than Reince Priebus, who's the Chief of Staff to Trump? Think about this shit. I'm some guy hanging out, goofing off, drinking iced coffee, talking about books I've read, and Reince Priebus is the Chief of Staff to the President. The media goes after me harder than they go after him. Right? Just think about that for a minute. Why do they go after me harder than they go after him? And they're going after General Flynn, Bannon, everybody, and they're leaving him alone. They're leaving him alone. Well, we know why. Come on. We know what's going on. Let's not pretend. I remember when... Well, I am more of a threat than Reince Priebus. That is the right answer, as much as I hate to say it because it sounds douchey. I'm more of a threat to the existing establishment than Reince Priebus is. Why? Because I'm actually anti-establishment. Because I'm not part of these GOP cucks. Because I actually want to move America forward. I want to push the advantage. Here's what you got to learn in life. When you win, you push the advantage. You don't say, oh, we won now. We won. Okay, it's over. When you win, you push the advantage and you push it hard and you keep pushing until you've completely demoralized and destroyed the enemy. And then you let the enemy back up. Then you lift them back up. Right now, we have not demoralized the enemy. The left is fired up. I hate to break it to you. I told you guys this in December. I hate to break it to you. The left is fired up. I went to that march in D.C. and I thought, well, the riot was one thing, but I went to the Women's March as a journalist. Oh, wow. Guys, they're fired up. Don't believe any media narrative telling you that that is astroturfed. No, it wasn't. I went with a bunch of friends, and we thought it'd be a couple blocks. We went 2 blocks, 3 blocks. We tried to find somewhere to eat. We had to walk 1.5 miles to find a place you could eat. We had to walk 1.5 miles to find something to eat because there were so many people. So anybody who doesn't think the left isn't fired up, I hate to break it to you. I have friends on the front lines doing that immigration stuff. I have friends of mine who have been organizing the Dulles Airport, right? They might not be friends anymore. A couple of them unfollowed me on Twitter because the immigration stuff really people got mad about. But what are you going to do? Won't be the first time I lose friends, but I have or had friends depending on the relationship status. People who are involved in the front lines. If you think that it's fake, oh, you're wrong. They're fired up. They are fired up. The left is fired up. And what are we doing? What are we doing? And this is why I've been warning people about the Trump sabotage. Why is it? I'm a controversial guy. I don't want anything to do with the administration. Blowback. Why isn't Bill Mitchell in the White House? Real question, not rhetorical. You know, I know that we're reading The Elements of Eloquence together, studying rhetorical questions. That is a rhetorical question. Why isn't Bill Mitchell? Because he's more of a Trump cheerleader than I am. Bill Mitchell, I'm not, you know, because I don't agree with everything Trump does. Bill Mitchell, Trump could say anything and he's going to cheerlead for it. Good. That isn't shading him. You need that. Why isn't Bill Mitchell in the White House doing social media outreach every day with people? Why isn't he? Because these mother effers, I don't cuss anymore, inside the White House is sabotaging Trump. They should have a social media outreach. There should be pro-America rallies going on every couple of weeks. Pro-Trump rallies in cities every week. The Deplorable, over 1,000 people. Some of you went, who went to the Deplorable? Who was at the Deplorable? We went to the Deplorable. We thought we were going to have a party. It ended up being a rally. We didn't even know it was going to be a rally. People were just fired up, man. Why were they fired up? Because they wanted to be in a room together. They wanted to talk. They wanted to get riled up. And then I went up there and I realized they're not going to let me give a speech. I went up there to the stage to give a speech. And I was like, okay, it ain't going to happen. They're not going to let me give a speech. And that's fine. That's just about social awareness of the crowd, right? You got to realize that when you're dealing with any kind of crowd at all, it's like being with a woman. You know, you don't just say this is what you're going to do. There's an energy, an aura. There's a vibe. There's push back and forth, right? Same thing. I got up there and I was like, okay, they're not going to let me give a speech. I wrote a speech. They're not going to let me give it. They wanted a rally. So what do? You give the people what they want. And people thought, well, this is amazing. Why don't we have more of these? Why don't we have these all the time? Great question. Why are there not pro-Trump rallies, pro-America rallies being organized every month? There should be one every month, right? Now people go, Mike, be the change in the world you want to see. Hey, I did the Deplorable. That was a hassle. And nobody paid me any money, and I didn't make any money on it. And I had to fly myself out there. So I probably lost like $1,000. You know? I can only do so much. This is all shit that these people need to be doing. They need to step up and they need to do it. Right? I spent enough money. I spent enough of my own money last year to get Trump elected. Why? Because I have a daughter, and I know if Hillary Clinton won, my daughter would be probably murdered by the roving rape mobs that they have in Europe. So it was I'm not martyring myself. Anybody who has a daughter had to support Trump because we know the rapes in the swimming pools. Did you read about the raping now in the swimming pools? Women and children cannot go to swimming pools in Germany anymore because rape mobs will go in there and they find girls and they throw them in the stalls. Little girls, 5, 6, 7, 13, it doesn't matter. They throw them in bathroom stalls and they gang rape them. And because they're refugees, they don't get deported because it's too dangerous to send them home. It's too dangerous. And they'll rape little boys too. So don't get me wrong. I'm not martyring myself. I had to do what I had to do to fight for my country. Got to step up. But eventually you got to start asking, why is there no... Maybe you don't like Bill Mitchell. I don't know. I don't know why do people not like Bill Mitchell? How can anybody not like Bill Mitchell? It doesn't matter. If you don't like Bill Mitchell, then, I don't know, you're a bad person. Oh, he's a cook. Oh, because he doesn't want to put swastika cakes or whatever. Come on. That's just being a moron. There's no reason to not like the guy. Right? I'm not saying everybody has to like him, but there's no reason to not like him. There's no reason to dislike Bill Mitchell. If you dislike him, look in the mirror. You're probably not a very good person. So why aren't there people organizing pro-Trump rallies? Why aren't there people doing America First rallies every month to keep the momentum going? Why isn't there? Sabotage. I mean, it's sabotage. That's 100% reason why. Is within the Trump White House, Trump has to fight to get his mission right. But he's also got to fight the sabotage, too. People are saying Bill is good, kind of corny. Well, you need kind of corny. Right? You don't keep me far away from the White House. Why? Because I've said and done and will say and do enough things to don't. Right? That's just about being smart. That's an issue a lot of people, that's the issue a lot of people have, is that things that I do are going to be a little edgy. You don't need edgy people in mainstream politics. You don't need edgy people in mainstream politics. Okay? That's just the reality. People like me belong where we are. People like me belong where we are. And anybody who lacks the self-awareness to realize that is a problem. So these are the things. There should be pro-America rallies every month. The trolls suck, yeah, but they up the viewership. What are you going to do? Your Voice Radio, yeah, Bill's show, Your Voice Radio. What is going on March 4th? I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, Mike, Trump supporters have to hide. Do they? Do they? Maybe if you're only one. Maybe if you're only one. What if there were pro-America rallies held every month? And there are thousands of Trump supporters. Thousands of Trump supporters wearing red hats. What if there's 1,000 people wearing red hats? You think they got to be afraid then? Right? Strength in numbers. Strength in numbers. That's the reality. So there need to be pro-America, America First rallies everywhere in America. And they need to be here every month. Keep the momentum going. So here's the thing about life. I know this. You know this. Why is this not happening? Right? Sabotage. What I'm saying is undeniably true. I know it, and you know it. And it isn't happening. Why? Well, why is there no organization? It isn't that hard to organize. It doesn't take that much money. It's not that expensive. It isn't that hard to organize. Why is it not happening? Sabotage. I'm telling you. I've been telling you about GOP sabotage for months. Remember when we shut down the GOP phone lines? Who remembers that? Remember when the GOP was sabotaging Trump and we said, you know what we're going to do? Me. Remember what we said we're going to do? So we're just going to jam their phone lines up. We jammed in October. You couldn't even get through. You try to call. You wouldn't even be put on hold. You'd actually get a busy signal. I didn't even know what a busy signal was. I didn't know busy signals even existed, right? So that's how fired up Trump supporters are and were. So we can do that. You couldn't even leave a message. You couldn't even get through the phone lines. I tried to call. You couldn't even get to voicemail. Right? So that's the reality. There is massive amounts of sabotage within the GOP. I know it and you know it. How are we going to fight back? I don't know. We got to figure it out. We're going to have to do our own thing, really. We're going to have to do... Trump people are making an excuse. Those who can't, won't, and think poorly. I don't know what she's talking about. So we'll have to do it ourselves. But the truth is that I've done enough work to save America. I've done enough work to save America. I can only do so much. Yeah, inside, all fired up. So I don't know. Maybe we need to bring back. Should we bring back? I was going to retire the MAGA 3X brand. Should we bring back the MAGA 3X brand? Should we organize our own rallies? You are a figurehead now, pass the torch. Who wants the torch? There's nothing I'm doing that you need a resume to do. Right? There's nothing that I'm doing that other people can't do. Right? Do periscopes, build an audience, make it happen. So yeah, I think we need to talk more about it. We definitely, but that's why the GOP loses. They don't push their advantage. It isn't aggressive. That's the big issue with the GOP, is that we win and then we don't push the advantage. That's the old right. The new right, you push the advantage. We don't say we've won and now we're going to chill out. We're going to say we're going to fight until they quit. And then when they quit, we can negotiate. But we only negotiate from a position of power. So let's talk about it. Maybe we'll do an after party at CPAC. Maybe we'll do an after party at CPAC. We'll see. Thanks for tuning in. Mike Cernovich, DangerandPlay.com. Guerrilla Mindset. We have to think more. We'll talk more and we'll figure this out.